Why don't babies overheat in the uterus? What about when the mom gets a fever? Most of our body heat is generated as waste heat as part of digestion. Babies don't have digestion happening since they don't eat anything. All the nutrition they need comes through the umbilical cord directly into their blood. In essence, they are a parasitic organ growing as part of the mommy until they are born. In short, they survive the heat the same way your internal organs survive it. They need this heat. They only die if it goes above it. And the mom's thermoregulation ensures that it all stays at 37°C 98.4 F. The temperature exchange when submerged in fluid is much faster than when you're in the air. The baby is gonna match whatever the temperature of the mother is. Amniotic fluid and the placenta help keep baby cool and comfy. Woman's uterus is filled with 80 water. It's quite safe in there. I certainly did. Apparently I had done a 180 and then flipped 2, causing the umbilical cord to choke me out. With this, I was a C-section baby, cause I was in no way able to be birthed without being choked to death. They recommend not going into hot tubs for that exact reason. Because all the excess heat is transferred into the mother, who then transfers the excess heat into the surrounding air. If the temperature of the surrounding air is more than 37°C, then you have nowhere to drop your excess heat and you are cooked. When I was pregnant with twins, I asked my doctor this exact question. Turns out babies don't generate nearly as much heat as we do because they are not really doing much physical activity in there. Most of their energy goes straight to growing, not making excess heat. When I got a kidney infection when I was pregnant, I had to go to the ER and the doctor told me no bubble baths or I would boil my baby. It's water cool. Mom's blood cools them down and amniotic fluid spreads the heat. Built-in AC system. Heat stroke at 98.6 degrees? Everyone in Phoenix is suffering from heat stroke the whole summer? Humans run an internal temp of about that much every day of their lives. So? 1. Mom's blood cools the baby. It's not the baby that regulates its own temperature. Mom's bloodstream does that. The heat goes from the baby to the placenta to the mother and dissipated. 2. Amniotic fluid acts as a temperature stabilizer. First off, the baby is surrounded by fluid, which provides a thermal buffer to prevent rapid temperature spikes. 3. Lower metabolism. Fetal metabolism is not as brisk as an adult's, producing less heat overall. 4. No need for sweating. Babies don't sweat like we do, but they don't need to. Mom's body does the cooling. 5. And then evolution optimized the system. If overheating were a problem, we wouldn't be here. The womb is a finely tuned place. Fun fact, for instance, premature babies have a hard time regulating heat after being born because they no longer have mom's thermoregulation, which is why they are kept in incubators. Thinking about this now and realizing it's true. But again, some things are just the way they are, no explanation, but trust science to come up with one soon. It'll be in the comments for the right explanation to this. When I worked in labor and delivery, I used to wonder about this too. Turns out babies don't generate nearly as much heat in the womb since they are not using their muscles much, and whatever heat they do make gets whisked away by mom's circulation. The body is seriously incredible. If a pregnant mother suffers heat stroke, the babe is likely to suffer too. They are baking. They use a coolant agent called blood, while the placenta tries to keep bad stuff out. The mother and child still use the same blood. So as long as the mother manages to regulate her own temperature, the child will be fine. Basically like you keep the temperature of your inner organs in check. Women miscarry more often in extreme heat, so they can overheat. It just takes a lot.